Man, that was a close one after being up by as much as 13 points in the second half. The Indiana Fever find themselves in a dogfight late in Seattle, and we held on to win 5 straight W's for the Indiana Fever, 78-74. Man, that was a struggle, but
Sophie Cunningham just turned into Steph Curry with a southern drawl, while Aaliyah Boston basically looked at the fourth quarter and said, "Yeah, that's mine." The Fever? They're out here cooking like grandma on Sunday, and trust me, the wins are hot and fresh. That's 3 in a row, baby. Are we witnessing the early stages of a Fever dynasty, or did somebody spike the Gatorade with pure magic? Either way, this game had more plot twists than a reality show reunion and enough heat to make your AC file for retirement. Let's break it down.
Oh my God! The Fever did everything possible to blow a game but still come out with the win. That was a near epic level collapse, folks. Wow, it should have never gotten that close. Lexi Hall, Stephanie White waited till the very, very last minute to put Stephanie Hall in on defense. She should have been in there from 2 minutes in, 2.5 minutes in on defense.
Sophie Cunningham wasn't just hooping, she was on a full-blown mission to remind everyone why the WNBA even bothers with a highlight reel. She had that rare, "don't worry, I got this" energy that makes opponents rethink their life choices and coaches start rewriting rotation charts on the fly. Offense? Locked. Defense? Tighter than TSA. She was diving for loose balls, cashing shots like rent was due, and turning the hardwood into her personal Broadway production titled, "How to Be That Girl."
Did big games from a few key players, and we got big games from Sophie Cunningham, a big game from Natasha Howard, and Ari McDonald. It was very noticeable how this team performed tonight with Ari McDonald in the game and with Ari McDonald on the bench. Ari McDonald was a key component to the Fever's victory tonight. Let's get right into it. Natasha Howard, big game from Natasha Howard. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 10 of 12 from the field. Natasha Howard, she put in work offensively, she put in work defense.
And it wasn't just the buckets. It was the attitude. The swag. That no-nonsense, grab the game by the neck and shake it vibe. Sophie wasn't just playing, she was performing. She was the glue, the spark, the full-strength caffeine shot this Fever squad didn't even know they needed, but now can't live without. Forget heart and soul. Cunningham was the entire circulatory system. Every time Indiana looked like they might flatline, boom, there she was. Yelling, hustling, and making absolutely sure nobody on that floor forgot who the emotional engine really was.
What it is about certain parts of these games, certain halves of these games, it's like they didn't want Sophie Cunningham to touch the ball at all in the second half. And she finished with 17 points, 5 of 6 shooting, 4 of 5 from three-point range. And in case you're wondering, she's the only Indiana Fever player that hit a three-pointer this evening.
Meanwhile, in the fourth quarter, something bizarre happened. The kind of decision that makes you squint at the TV like, wait, what? Sophie had the hot hand, cooking defenders like it was open gym. And then, boom. A 5-minute Cunningham intermission, like halftime at a Broadway show. Momentum. Benched. Swagger. Put on timeout. Who needs a flamethrower on the floor when you can snuff it out for the sake of, what exactly? Only a coach could dream up that plot twist after one too many chess documentaries.
They sure do know how to stress a brother out. The Indiana Fever just almost pushed me to a heart attack. I mean, jeez. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. My goodness. My goodness, man. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Woo. I got to keep my towel on. My neck is wet. My neck is wet, guys. I'm sorry. They made me sweat. The Indiana Fever nearly blow a 12-point fourth quarter lead. We allow the Seattle Storm to go on an 11-0 run in the fourth quarter. Stephanie White, I keep telling y'all, I don't trust.
Seriously, pulling Sophie during crunch time was like turning off your Wi-Fi in the middle of a live stream. Like biting into a sandwich and tossing out the best part. One of those galaxy brain decisions you try to justify afterward but ends up sounding like a Mad Lib gone wrong. And let's be clear, this wasn't just any 5-minute breather. This was fourth quarter fever drama. The moment when leaders step up. Instead, the leader was, sipping water on the sidelines like an NPC. Let's call it what it was, basketball blasphemy. Sophie was radiating energy like a solar panel in the Sahara, and then, boom, instant blackout. And this isn't even about her points anymore. It's about presence. Cunningham's on-court aura is a stabilizer, the spark that makes her teammates run harder, defend smarter, and fist bump like their lives depend on it. Pulling her then was like yanking the AUX chord during your favorite song, silence when the party should have been peaking.
All right, man, so can we just talk about the elephant in the room, man? When we have hot hands, we have to go to the hot hands, okay? It just does not make sense to keep giving somebody who is cold the ball, especially in clutch moments. What are we doing? Stephanie White, what are we doing? My bad, y'all. I know this probably bothered y'all. Yes. What are we doing, Stephanie White? Let me close this out, y'all, really quick. Okay, there we go. You have to refer to your hot hands, man. Come on now. You had Kelsey Mitchell take. I feel like it was like 3 or 4 shots that she took in the clutch moments where they were coming back and the turnovers was.
Sophie was cooking. Everyone saw it, everyone felt it, everyone fed off it. Which is why yanking her in crunch time wasn't strategy, it was sabotage by overthinking. The Fever still scraped out the win, but let's not kid ourselves, this wasn't smooth coaching, it was Boston and Cunningham dragging the team across the finish line with pure force of will. If you want the headline, here it is, Sophie lit the fire, Boston poured the gasoline, and somehow Indiana survived the smoke.
Indiana Fever survived the Seattle Storm. This was a hell of a game, and I have to be honest with y'all. I got to be completely honest with y'all. The Indiana Fever, hey, a win's a win. I'm not mad. We won. I'll take a win. But boy, are we lucky that this Seattle Storm team is borderline, they're borderline terrible offensively. This team, they play so slow. They can't score in bunches. I don't even know how they went on an 11-0 run. Well, I know how they went on a run. My point is, they don't score quickly enough, easy enough to even go on major scoring swings like that. That's not how they play. They are a slow, methodical team, and they missed. Skylar Diggins missed 2 wide open threes. Erica Wheeler missed a wide open 3 in the corner.
Sophie isn't the brand, she's the backbone. The Fever don't just need her buckets, they need her pulse. Because while highlight reels might sell jerseys, it's players like Cunningham who build culture. And if Indiana's really serious about turning 3 straight wins into something bigger, into something lasting, then it's simple, keep the kitchen open, let the chef cook.
Absolutely are like they're now well and truly up there with the best of them. They are looking like they're going to get into that 4-5 matchup no matter what. Like if you look at the standings, they are 17 and 12. They're like a half a game back on the Phoenix Mercury. If the Phoenix Mercury somehow lose tonight, they go ahead of the Phoenix Mercury. They are an entire game ahead of the Seattle Storm, and they have the tiebreak over the Storm. If they win one of the last two against Phoenix Mercury, they have the tiebreak over the Mercy.
So yeah, Cunningham is that girl, underestimated by box scores, but undeniable in impact. She may not always lead in points, but she leads in everything that matters: effort, communication, confidence, chaos control, and just the right amount of trash talk with Midwestern charm. By the final buzzer, the Fever weren't just a team, they were a unit. And at the center of that noise, that spark, that vibe, Sophie. On the floor or on the bench, she was conducting the game like a maestro with a headband. If you're looking for the real fuel behind this fever streak, don't overthink it. It's not just schemes or analytics, it's culture. And that culture dives for steals, shouts for switches, and celebrates a teammate's bucket like it's her own. That's Sophie. The pulse, the voice, the spark. With her on the floor, it's not just basketball. It's electric, and the rest of the league? They better start paying attention.
We have a lot to discuss in this one. One thing being that the Indiana Fever has picked up their 5th consecutive straight win. This is their best record in over 10 years, and they have a chance to become second place in WNBA rankings. Yes, so all of the people that said that the Indiana Fever was out of contentions to winning the WNBA championship, I'm here to tell you, they are looking silly.
Because if Sophie Cunningham is the soul of this Fever team, Boston is the anchor, and Clark is the spark, then Indiana's not just building momentum, they're building a movement. One clap, one dive, one Cunningham possession at a time. Oh yeah, maybe the plan was to cool her down. Which is rich, considering Sophie Cunningham was already red hot, melting faces off like a microwave burrito. But sure, nothing says momentum management quite like yanking your flamethrower off the court mid-burn. Maybe they thought she needed to recharge her sass battery or preserve her sarcasm reserves. Whatever the logic, here's the twist: Sophie didn't pout, didn't sulk, didn't pull a diva move. She just got back in, grabbed the vibe by the throat, and kept delivering unfiltered chaos wrapped in high IQ basketball. Every Cunningham possession feels like a masterclass in doing the most with just enough flair to keep it entertaining. That's why she matters. That's why this team is dangerous. And that's why Indiana's win streak isn't just a stat, it's a signal. The Fever aren't just here. They're here to stay.
Odd makers had picked the Indiana Fever to actually lose this game in Seattle. No one thought that they could go to Seattle and get a win on the road. And I'm here to tell you, it got shaky in the fourth quarter.
So I'm happy that we kept our composure, even though Seattle went on an 11-0 run. We've been through situations like that, but at the end of the day, we just stayed together and we talked about it and we moved on to the next play.
I also think it shows the growth that we've had as a team, because early in the season we were just so inconsistent, and if teams were to do that, we would normally lose those games. But it just shows that we're getting closer, we're trusting each other, and I think that's the biggest part, is trusting and knowing that we can win those games even if they go on.
Let's be real, Sophie Cunningham isn't just playing well, she's playing with purpose. With attitude. With the kind of don't mess with me energy that instantly raises the ceiling of any team she's on. Her vibe has been volcanic ever since CC's been out. And while the league has been busy dissecting Caitlin Clark's minutes, passes, and probably her astrology sign, Sophie's been casually turning into Indiana's heartbeat with zero fuss and 100% fire. And here's where I have to confess something: I'm becoming a full-blown Sophie Cunningham fan. Like build a shrine in my living room level fan. Because this woman isn't just balling out, she's hilarious, honest, and completely unfiltered while doing it. Post-game interviews. Pure gold. On-court demeanor. Comedy with a side of competitive fury. She'll hit a three, talk trash, pick up your teammate, and then roast the ref, all in the same possession. You can't coach that. You can't manufacture that. That's Sophie. Every game lately feels like a Sophie showcase. Full court hustle, defensive stops, trash talk, veteran swagger, and facial expressions that deserve their own meme pack. She's the player who will lock you down and then wink at you like, "Good try, sweetheart." You want her on your side. Because if you're on the other bench, you're in for a long, sarcastic, soul-snatching night.
Oh, that is 5 in a row. That is 5 wins in a row for the Indiana Fever. That is something I didn't think we were going to do it. I didn't think we were going to be able to win 5 games in a row. With or without Caitlin Clark, winning 5 games in a row isn't easy. And that's another. Up until last week, the Fever had not beaten a plus 500 team in the regular season since Nalissa Smith and Lexi Hull's rookie season. Since their rookie.
But here's the funniest part: Sophie Cunningham isn't just doing this for show. There's real substance behind the sass. When she's on the floor, the Fever suddenly look organized. The defense clicks. The ball moves cleaner. The tempo smooths out. It's like her presence gives everyone a mild case of let's stop being chaotic syndrome. She's that one teammate who actually reads the scouting report and still shows up with jokes at practice, and when she speaks her mind, chef's kiss. In a league that often polishes players into marketable perfection and sanitized sound bites, Sophie is the walking, talking curveball. She's the comic relief and the emotional anchor. The unfiltered podcast and the grinded-out baller, the Fever's resurgence isn't just about highlight stats and flashy rookies. It's about Cunningham's gritty leadership. She thrives when the game gets messy, physical, chaotic, intense. While most players pray for clean looks, Sophie looks like she's most comfortable diving into the stands, scrapping for loose balls, and still knocking down a jumper with flair. That duality. That's her superpower.
Oh my goodness, what are we doing? What are we doing? You had a Sophie Cunningham who was on fire, 17 points, right? 5 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 5 of 6 from the floor and 4 or 5 from the 3. Didn't touch the ball not one more time in that clutch moment. What are we doing? What are we doing? Boston was also on fire, 7 of 11 from the floor, 16 points, 1 block, 3 steals, 2 assists, 12 rebounds with that nasty double, and didn't necessarily put up a shot in those last minutes.
And can we talk about how funny Sophie is mid-game? She chirps during live play like she's mic'd up for an HBO comedy special. Whether she's clapping back at refs, poking at her matchup, or hyping up her own squad, it's always entertaining. And it's not in that, look at me, way, it's more of a this is my house, I'll make you laugh while I drop buckets on you kind of energy. What makes it even better is how seamlessly she gels with the team. She's not out there as some lone wolf, she's the connector. She lifts everyone around her. You see it in the way the Fever bench reacts to her plays. It's not just celebration, it's like the whole squad levitates when Sophie hits a shot. That's not just leadership. That's chemistry you can feel.